Hello, everyone. It is review time. We are talking Snake Eyes. Now, I always feel like it is well worth pointing out if I'm super into a franchise, or not, I guess, and that is kind of the case on this one. I'm coming at the movie with low-level knowledge of G.I. Joe lore. The brand isn't necessarily the biggest draw for me, but I do see a whole lot of big screen potential in it, and also really do like a lot of this ensemble, so I would say I was pretty eager to see Snake Eyes. With that out of the way right now, let's get into a brief synopsis. Snake Eyes is a G.I. Joe origin story focusing on the title character played by Henry Golding. As a kid, he witnessed his father's murder, and he's been a loner ever since. However, when he saves the life of the next in line to lead the Arashikage, an ancient Japanese clan, Snake Eyes gets the opportunity to learn their ways and also possibly gain a home in the process. So, Snake Eyes isn't a very good movie, but it's not all that bad either, which I know probably doesn't sound like a very strong endorsement because it's not. There are a number of things that just flat out don't work in the movie that we will discuss, but for the most part, I would say it's just passable. The story's fine and has enough momentum, but it is pretty predictable and riddled with cliches. They do get away with it, but I think that they could have gotten away with it a bit better if the movie overall wasn't so flat. Henry Golding is a solid enough anchor here as Snake Eyes. I don't necessarily think that he did anything wrong in his performance, but there just isn't much of a spark between Snake Eyes and the other characters. I rarely felt the intensity of their relationships, and that significantly reduces the stakes of a movie that, at its core, is about family and loyalty. I can't necessarily point a finger at one specific thing and say that right there is why this movie feels so hollow, but I don't know, now that I'm saying it, I guess that kind of leads me to think it's director Robert Schwenke's overall handle on the production. There's just not much style to it, and I think that winds up making Snake Eyes feel like your basic, unexceptional studio action movie, and I think that also contributes to sucking a significant amount of life out of the film as well. As for the action here, I think there might have been some good choreography in there. I know that they had some combat pros on the roster. I mean, give me Iko Uwais on screen all day long, but you don't really get to see Uwais and the others show off their skills because 90% of the action in Snake Eyes is way over-edited and also captured via extreme shaky cam. And listen, I usually do enjoy that style of filming, but this was way too much. It made it pretty much impossible for me to follow the action and make sense of it all. When it comes to the Snake Eyes fight scenes, I'd say the best stuff is when there's minimal editing and the camera gives you a clear view of the stunt taking place. It's just, that doesn't really happen all that much. I do want to touch on more of the supporting ensemble briefly, and broadly I'll say they're all okay. Again, it feels like most of them got the assignment and they're getting it done, but the overall feel of the movie just doesn't do their work any favors. I was also extremely disappointed by how underused Samara Weaving is in this. I imagine they included her the way that they did to potentially tee up involvement in the future of the franchise, but as much as I love her, and as much as I think that she actually comes the closest to delivering the fun, quippy dialogue best, this movie just didn't justify having that character involved whatsoever. Also, oddly enough, I think the point that the ensemble starts to actually break through and feel charming and fun to the point that you do want to spend more time with them is towards the end of the movie, but I just don't know if that's happening there for the intended reasons. I mean, I think I know, and the answer is no, they're not happening there for the intended reasons. There's just some super silly beats towards the end of the movie. There's a heroes assemble shot that's so heavy-handed, and it just doesn't match the rest of the movie, especially when all of the one-liners have fallen so flat. But I did kind of catch myself wishing that they leaned into the zaniness of that kind of stuff even more. I know it's not what they're going for, but there was something just offbeat there that I was really starting to enjoy. And with this reference I'm about to make, I know these are very different properties, but I did catch myself thinking about this. It's another action movie that came out this year that's quite rough around the edges, and it's Mortal Kombat. Even though I most certainly do not mind the fact that I spent the time that I did watching Snake Eyes, I do think if it took bigger swings and breathed more of a unique sense of life into the film like Mortal Kombat had done, I might be more inclined to give it another watch because I had more fun, but that's not the case here. It feels like I am pretty much one and done with Snake Eyes. I'm giving the movie 2.5 Deweys out of 5 on the Dewey Decimovie scale. It's just not that good, but it's also nothing too terrible, passable entertainment. If that's enough for you, have at it, but I just can't call this high priority viewing right now. That is where I leave you with Snake Eyes. If and when you decide to catch the movie, hit the comment section below. I'd love to know what you think as well. Before I leave you, we've got Patreon shoutouts to give, a lovely group of 6 right here, and they are Billy, Evan, Efren, Justin, Caleb, and Steven. All names you should know by now because they are longtime members of the campaign, and they are all wonderful individuals. I can't emphasize that enough. Also, one more thing before I say goodbye on this video. The set is a work in progress. I'm open to notes. I want to make these videos fun and satisfying, and I want to make them look good for you guys. So if you ever have any, notes or suggestions, I'm open to it. I check the comments all the time. Most of you know that. All right, that's it. I'm leaving you now. Like and share this review before you leave it, and I'll see you soon with more of them.